This is my friend April. I've been promising you something interesting, something a little bit different from here. It's not a craft, but it is a way to make somebody else's day really easily. I've been alluding to it a little bit. If you've been putting my posts together and stuff like that. So I've invited you to come and watch. If you are not able to catch this live, that's okay. Then you're watching the replay, and we love the people on the replay. Hang on a second here. I've got so help yourself to the replay. I'm going to probably send it in the email at the end of the week, and don't worry, you'll see it again and again. But April and I actually know each other from a couple of business groups that we're in together. So April actually lives in Georgia.
Yep, just south of Atlanta.
Yeah, south of Atlanta. And I'm up here in Canada, but we are like best buddies anyway. Internet fast friends. So I see people are coming on. That is awesome. I'm just going to get my comments on here because my computer, for whatever reason, does not love to do comments, right? So, so April, can you tell us a little bit about, oh, wait, I'm seeing Dawn. Okay, I am seeing comments. Great stuff.
Oh,
there we go. I'm going to delete that one. April's going to pop a comment into the live stream as well. So because what we're going to be talking about here today is sending cards, right? And you may have like I said, I alluded to a little bit, but April is like hey, Sarah, meet April. April meets Sarah. These are some of my members from my membership. And April and I are in a membership together, 2 memberships actually. So we cross paths a lot of times when we just thought, you know what, my audience is probably a really good fit for what she has. So we're going to talk about sending cards out. Now there's another one of my members, Connie.
Yay!
We're loading up our members here. You guys, actually, there's an affiliate opportunity here. You might want to hang around for that. And if I can talk April into it, maybe we'll have her come over to our group one day and chit chat about that.
Ooh, that would be great.
Interested in hearing, right? No pressure, just hearing what the opportunities are. Okay, so where was I? Now, this is how I go live, April. I just wing it.
I do the exact same thing. It's always fun, but it's never right scripted because
I got notes here to ask questions. Oh, no, that's not it. Here they are.
Random question day.
Yeah, look, I've Post-it notes, and I'm so organized, right? Milson Joy, the 10-card challenge. This is what April is going to talk to us about. Now, I'm going to pop a banner in a second and show just across the bottom. If you want to find out what April's doing, that's where you go, 10cardchallenge.com. We're going to talk about that, right? But we're going to talk about
like a card store in your phone.
Yeah. No running to find cards that aren't there, or running to, I was just saying there's things like you don't have to.
Or that are $5 now. I mean, when my kid graduated a couple of years back, one of his graduation cards said $9.99 on the back.
Oh my gosh.
And he was like, I think I would have rather had the $10.
I think so. I think I would have rather gave you the $10, son. Yeah, you don't have to print them out. Now, I sell printables, but this is not that. Okay. And so you're going to see some things that I made for April for you guys, but you don't have to print them out, right? This is not that. So don't worry about that. So you don't need a printer, right? That's one thing, because lots of times people say I don't have a printer. You don't even need one, right?
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to make it. Now, I know some of you love to make your cards and send them out. Guess what happens when I try and make a card and send it out? First of all, if I can find all the supplies, right, and if I don't have to go buy more supplies, I'll start making the card. I don't have any plan in mind. I will get frustrated with the card after about an hour, and then I'll forget about it for 2 weeks, and then I'll come back and realize it's too late. The birthday is over now, right?
Moment has passed.
Yeah, this will get thrown in my. So I love to craft and I love to paint. Card making is not my thing. So I am one that just sends regular old cards. I just go to the store and buy them, right? Because that's just so much easier for me. And then it actually gets done sometimes. Sometimes if I remember to buy cards ahead. So when the time comes and I need a card for a birthday or a card for an event. Okay.
Right.
So, and you're going to like the cost on this. The cost is cheaper than one $5 card, cheaper than that, and it includes your postage.
Right.
So anywhere in the world, anywhere in Canada, anywhere in the US. I'm not
This particular 10-card challenge is 10 cards.
Yep.
$20.
$22.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world. So if you got somebody overseas that you've been not sending stuff to because it costs too much.
Yeah, because an international stamp, if you're in the US, an international stamp is now $1.50.
Yeah, and if you're in Canada, it's more than that, right?
So Canada to Europe is more than that?
Oh, probably, yeah. It's like $1.50 to send it to the US, right? Which is like an hour away from here.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. So Canada's now the dollar exchange and all that, but still, I think it works out to like I haven't even looked at sending something overseas because it's always too much money, right? So
yeah, it is crazy. And I have so many missionary friends. Like our very first babysitter ever is now 20 years later, is now a missionary wife in Ireland and has 5 kids. And so I send her kids fun cards all the time because I take things like you make, like word searches and things like that.
Yep.
Put the JPEG into the card and send the card to the kid.
Oh, that is awesome.
And they get fun stuff in the mail because those missionary kids overseas, they never get fun stuff in the mail because it's too expensive.
Yeah. And you know what, even here we just don't do fun stuff in the mail much anymore,
Right.
And
exactly.
Like when I was a kid, I used to love getting stuff in the mail. I still do, except it's all bills now.
I know, right?
It's like Amazon's kind of taken over the package department. So when they show up, I'm like, oh, it's Christmas.
I know. And they tell us Merry Christmas, like they're not going to see us 15 times before Christmas comes.
Yeah.
My Amazon guy's got he's got his own little cooler out there during the winter, during the summertime.
There was a joke that said, my wife ordered so much from Amazon that when she didn't do it one day, they knocked on the door to check on her.
Are you okay?
You all right in there, ma'am? So
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I'm going to leave the ticker running across the bottom, but this is where you can go, and it's in the comments as well. Okay. Number 10 cardchallenge.com.
Yep.
Right?
And this is an introductory, try it, see if you like it kind of stuff. There are easier things later.
Yeah.
But what I don't ever do is get in the weeds when I first tell somebody, hey, there's this cool app that lets you send cards.
Yeah.
Because that's all we do is 10 cards, $20. See if you like it. Yeah.
Send the cards out. See how people respond.
Yeah.
And be the nicest person on the block this week.
I'm telling you. And in the world we're all in now.
Yeah.
A little kindness goes a long way.
So
I mean, Mother's Day, and I send out more birthday cards than the average person because this is, I'm my computer is crafty. Myself is not crafty. So I can make a really cool card as long as I don't have to deal with the glue and the glitter.
Right. And it's your creativity gets used in the creating of the card.
And it's digital.
A little bit of what you can digitally. Exactly. But then it's not a digital card they're getting, because I know that's the thing too, right? So I've gotten digital cards where they're like, there's an email and you have to open it up and then you see the card and it does an animation. It's not that either, guys.
It is literally a card in, this is one of the ones that she did a word search for me. Yep. So word searches can be custom. There are free websites that have custom word searches. Yep. And then this is what she did on the back of hers. Just grateful for you. And this mug, by the way, is in our gift store.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. April sent me a card. Okay. This is what sold me on the whole damn thing. Hang on a second.
Here we go. Hang on. I know. Well, and with Mother's Day coming up, we'll talk amongst ourselves. With Mother's Day coming up, my mom and I are very, very close. She lives 2 hours from me, but we talk all the time. I took a picture with her. Well, I do every time I go, but I took a picture with her last Mother's Day and I posted it on Facebook. One of my friends who also has this card sending habit mailed me this card, but then I will never throw this away.
Oh, my, no way will you ever.
And everybody that saw it said, well, that nut didn't fall far from the tree.
But April, I wanted to tell you, April sent me a card. This is actually kind of what, because she was talking about it, and I said to her, I've never heard of this send out cards thing. And she said, oh, let me just send you something. And like I said, I know she's in Georgia, and I know I'm in Canada. And I thought one of the big hurdles for me about shipping has always been the cross-border shipping and stuff like that. She's like, oh, we got you covered on. They have gifts in their store that you can send, and things in your store that you can send internationally or whatever, right? So a box arrives on my doorstep one day, and in it, I'm like, I wasn't expecting anything from Amazon that day. And I was like, what is this box? And my husband and I are both like, what is this box? And we're mystified. And in the box was a card from April saying, have a nice day or whatever. It was just a nice card, right? And then 2 of these yummy brownies, right? I saved one, it's been in the freezer, but 2 of these, I already ate one, okay? And I'm hiding this one from my husband.
There you go, right.
It's pretty good, and I like my chocolate. So you're able to send little things like that. So the reason I'm interested in it was, sometimes you want to send things out to people, but when I'm shipping to the States, now all I have to do is go on send out cards and type in, I want the brownie pack, and I want this card to say that. Here's the address. They bill me, and everything else is printed in the US. So there's no cross-border shipping hassles for me, right? And sent to the people in the US, or printed in Canada. In April's case, she sent it to me through the printing. The printer was here in Canada, probably in Toronto. They printed it. They have a warehouse with their stuff, right? And they shipped it in Canada. So that's, I think, how they managed to keep all the pricing down. Is the shipping costs don't become extreme because we're not actually cross-border shipping. We're doing what's called print on demand. So when you order it, that's when they print it, and that's when they ship it from the closest place to you.
And I think that's one of the once people realize that part, that's why it's very understandable why our cards are so inexpensive.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the store and you see an entire aisle of cards, statistically, Hallmark and American Greetings only sell 10% of what they print.
Wow.
So they have to put the price accordingly.
Yeah, to cover
because they toss, and everybody's like, oh, I don't want to do paper because it's wasteful and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's already out there. And we're very green oriented, as far as not printing. We don't print things unless they're already sold.
Yeah. So that means that you make the card and then they print it and ship it, but it's fast. It's not like, 3 weeks later either, right?
Right. It goes in the postal service the next business day.
Yeah. So there you go. So don't worry about that, right? Because I've done print on demand with t-shirts, and it's like a 3-week wait time. And I'm like, this is one of the reasons I don't really do a lot of print on demand.
Yeah.
But when I send you my Amazon, like the books I got on Amazon, those are print on demand as well, right? So you make the order in Amazon Prime, and then they print it. Amazon prints it at one of their million printing places closest to where you live, right?
Right.
The buyer, not the seller, but the buyer, the closest to. So April sent the card to send out cards. Send out cards sent it to Toronto and said, hey, print this and ship it to Ottawa.
Yeah, no joke.
That's what they did, right? And it was here on my doorstep, making me go, what is that? That can't be here already. It's like fun to get a package too. It really was, right? Like I'm a little kid when it comes.
I don't care how old you are. Everybody loves fun mail.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we all get the boring stuff all the time, right?
Yeah.
We can live without the bills.
You sent me a really fun little church truck kind of thing. Do you want me to show that?
Absolutely. So you want to share your screen?
Okay.
And then I will add it, and I will probably take me off and just leave you on.
Okay.
So did you share your screen?
Let's see, entire screen. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. We did this beforehand, guys, but
right. Okay, here we are.
Yeah.
I had to pick the right one.
There we go. Add to the stage.
Yay. Oh, there we are. Oh, in stereo.
Hang on now. I need to
all right.
Make you okay. It's oh wow.
Okay. Are you
hang on. I'll play with all the buttons till I get where I'll play with all the buttons till I get where we're going.
All right, hold on.
Now there we go. Hit share your screen again.
Okay. I'll get back.
That was probably my bad.
All right, I'm going to click present, share screen.
Yep. And then
I see it. Ta-da.
Okay, now I add it to the stage. There we go.
Now this looks better.
Yeah. does. Hey,
I was like, oh dear.
it's high tech stuff, right?
I know, right? All right, so I have a super secret surprise for everybody watching, and I'm actually going to put the link to a not really a slideshow necessarily, but here it is. I'm going to copy paste this into the Facebook chat so that it will stay.
Okay.
This is basically like a slideshow of exactly how to get started if you're starting from the 10 card challenge.
Okay, perfect. And
So
I will add that to everything.
Yes. Yeah. It shows you how to, if I were to go to 10cardchallenge.com,
yep.
You click take the challenge, and then it takes you to this page where you if you have an account, great, log in. If you don't, you can put email address, password, and username here. Keep in mind that usernames are case sensitive.
Okay.
So if you're doing this on your phone, it still works. You just usually your phone will auto case something.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. And then when it says create account down here at the bottom, that's what you're going to do. And then it's going to take you and let you click log in. And then here's your account. I do believe it pulls you into the dashboard, which is, here's your dashboard. Think of a dashboard as like your State of the Union. Like, how many cards do I have left? It's going to be right here. And, you know, what plan am I on? It's going to be right here. When you're here on the far left, you're going to click send a card.
Okay.
And there's a really handy app as well called sendoutcards.com. And if somebody starts an account and they don't start with my link, it's totally fine. Just tell them to contact me and I can hook us up so that I can make sure and support them.
Yeah.
That's
April
easy.
Has a group too.
Yeah.
April also has a group for people that send out their cards.
I do. I have an encouragement group.
What's it called?
Just like you're standing here in the aisle, you're going to have holiday and thank you and well wishes, love, celebrations, birthday, and just because. But I'm going to click build your own because Kim, in her infinite craftiness, has built this really cool card. You can see all your options here.
Yeah.
I'm going to click the 2-panel option, which is a normal 2-panel card, but I'm going to click image. And I've already loaded.
April, we're still on act on your promptings with the 10 card challenge.
What?
Yep.
Oh, wait. Share this tab instead.
There we go.
Aha.
Aha.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
No problem.
Molly did that the other day, too. And she just was rocking and rolling. And we were all like, ah.
Oh, I did it in the meeting the other day. And I had my screen shared. And it was just, I talked for another 20 minutes. And somebody said, Kim, can you stop the screen share so we can see?
All right. So I'm going to click. We'll go back 2 steps. I'm going to click build your own.
Yep.
Then I'm going to click your photo here, and then I'm going to click customize.
All good. Okay, I can see all this now.
Now I go to the current editor. You won't see the beta editor. That's from way back.
Yeah.
And I'm going to click image, and some of you are going to recognize Kim's handiwork. Look at that.
We all know that one.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, if this really struck my fancy, I could add.
Yeah.
And then I could make it a little bigger.
This is where the fun part is, right? The creative side of these.
Right.
Things.
This is all the crafty creator people that are much better at this than I am.
Yeah. You go wild.
I can maybe make it the truck red.
Yep. Oh yeah. Look at that.
Look at me. See, I can be taught.
You can. Yep.
And now you can simply open the card down here with the little black arrow. You can put a picture over here. Maybe you have a picture of you and your mother, or maybe you have a picture of someone else's mother.
Mm-hmm.
And what my friend did with me one day is she actually sent a Mother's Day card to my mother. She's my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And she said to my mother, Happy Mother's Day. I love your daughter and she's my best friend.
Aww.
Now that will make somebody.
Good job, Mom.
Right?
Nice kid.
Yes. So we're just going to make it simple.
Yeah.
And
you can get as complicated as you want in here.
Example purposes, right. Now the back,
yeah,
you can actually pick a card back and make it your default. So in other words, you saw this already popped up.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to click layouts, let's say I want to make something different. Here's all the ones I can make, but I can also click select existing and have as many as I want. If I'm sending this to a kid, I'm going to put this on the back.
So that's on the back of the card, the very back.
Yes, because the back is
nothing but the price.
The back of the card usually has this big tacky barcode on the back of it that says, "Hey, this person paid $9.99." Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for tacky.
But you have to scribble out because you don't want anybody to know how much you paid for that card.
I know. So then you click proceed to cart, and all this is very, very similar on the phone app as well. Yeah. I do a lot of traveling. I'm a pilot wife. I do a lot of traveling and sending people postcards that I'm traveling with. And when they get home, the postcards are at their house is so fun.
Oh my gosh, what a great idea. Yeah.
And so here we are at the checkout screen. Now, if I wanted to add a gift, I certainly could. You can click browse gifts and it goes on forever. Like who doesn't like chocolate brownies? Oh my gosh, chocolate covered Oreos. And they range in price from $6 or $7 all the way up to a $200 meat blanket.
But remember, those include the shipping, and there was a card that came with it too.
Right, exactly. So now I go back. I'm gonna send a card only. It shows me my total, but it also says up here 0.
Oh, there we go.
That's what it will say when you're on the 10 card challenge. And I'm gonna click add recipients. I'm just gonna click Brum test because that's what I put in for today. And I'm going to click that and click done. Now, if you don't have the address in there yet, you can put it in, but you only have to put it in once. Yeah.
Because then like Mother's Day, you can make your card, and then your Christmas, you got all the Mother's Day cards addresses already from your daughter.
Oh, for sure.
Mother, so you can do your Christmas cards, or you can do your, I don't know, wedding shower cards, or.
Oh yeah. Graduation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So then you click checkout, and it really is this simple. You can see what my total is. It's my favorite price.
It's already paid for.
Yeah. And then you click confirm and send. And this could have gone anywhere in the world.
Yep. Okay. Hang on a sec. Let's get us back to.
And so there we are.
Yeah.
And I showed you the one of me and my mom, and Kim had a really good idea earlier. We were talking about how this can be translated into different businesses, genres.
Yes.
Maybe you aren't interested in sending
doing
a card.
Yourself. Yeah.
So
maybe you make your own cards.
This is my realtor friend. He lives up in the Boston area. He's one of the most successful realtors in Boston. And most realtors will send a sports calendar or I'm down here. So we do a Braves calendar down here.
Yeah.
So instead of ordering 1,000 of those things, stuffing them, stamping them, addressing them, and shipping them, and paying someone by the hour to do it.
Yep.
He has it automated. So he mails the Bruins centennial schedule.
Oh, wow.
Of him and his daughter.
That's smart. Yeah.
And his branding is on the back.
So it's not, you know what? I saw one here actually, and it was, I'm in a government town. Okay. Ottawa is the center of the capital city of the country, but the federal government seats here, and a lot of federal government workers are here.
Right.
Some realtors sent out a federal government pay calendar schedule. It's every 2 weeks, right?
Wow.
Same thing, because there's 80% of us are probably connected to the federal government pay somehow.
Sure.
Even if you're not one that is in the government, most of the businesses, the grocery stores and all that, everybody, we get paid every 2 weeks, and every 2 weeks we're out spending our money.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
And so stuff like that, he can send that out in about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Because he's got everybody grouped. So you don't have to go through and say, this person, this person, this person, this person.
Yeah.
He goes in, creates the card. He clicks on groups. He clicks drip group or whatever he calls it.
Yeah.
And he clicks go.
Yeah. It's done. Yeah.
And then he goes and plays golf.
I was thinking, what if you were, say, a hairdresser, and you're trying to stand out in the crowd, in the sea of other hairdressers. Now I love my hairdresser, right? I'm never changing. But if she sent me a card every year, I would just think so much more of her. It could just be like, I do give her a Christmas card because I go in around Christmas time and get my hair cut, and I give her a big tip and all that. And she's given me some Crafty stuff because we both like to craft. But she sent a card just like a middle of the year, like, hey, how you doing? Summer's coming, whatever.
Big
I
difference.
would be like, oh wow, she's thinking of me,
Yeah.
So that would make her stand out more than anybody else. Just that one little tiny thought she had of me. And I think, because she sent it to me, I think she just thought of me. Whereas she may have a long list of clients that she sends cards to once every 6 months or something.
Well, it's so quick too, though, because hairdressers in particular, they have these before and after pictures on their phone.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You could put a before and after picture on a card, and in less than a minute, it goes. Now that person's going to keep that, because it makes them look amazing.
It does,
and they're going to show friends. So it's almost like you're sending someone free advertising.
Yeah. There's so many ways you could go with this. The creative side of me is just like lighting up, like, oh, do this, oh, do that, oh, do this, oh, do that.
So much fun. Well, a friend of mine, I don't do this because for me, it's just like one more thing.
Yes.
But a friend of mine runs a parents of young, like toddler mom blog.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's probably got, I don't know, 300 or 400 people on her list that are frequenting and buy from her different things, downloads and stuff. She sends Santa mail.
Oh.
And her envelope, you get to change this.
Yeah. Okay, so that
her envelope comes from the North Pole.
Oh my gosh! Oh, that's brilliant. We had here's another. Like, I'm in a membership, and this membership at the first few years I was in it, they do a big event in the summer, and they sent a big like a package to every single member, right? And it was all things for this it was 2020 was a virtual event we were doing instead of live, right? So so they sent every one of us like blue blocker glasses and little shaker thing, and it was all part of this fun. But some of those never made it, and it got to the point where we were making it was fun. Most people got them, right? But because they were shipping internationally, and it was taking like sometimes 3 months, 4 months, 6 months to show up at they've been long over, right? And then the thing would show up, and they would post and go, look what finally arrived.
Christmas in July.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious, right? So I mean, we had a good sense of humor about it. It was like it wasn't the main part of the event at all. It was just a little fun thing they added on to make it more fun, right?
Yeah.
But it just was hilarious because it didn't, because they were shipping, like literally mailing it out from the US all over the world. Some of them were in Australia and England, and there was some places it never made it. Some places it was 6 months later.
Yeah.
Even here in Canada, though the company is based in Canada, but they were shipping from the States. It took a lot longer than you thought it would. So this print on demand thing really makes a huge difference in that.
It's getting bigger and bigger because people are tired of handling things.
Yeah.
But they still want the personalization of something tangible.
Yeah.
In your hand. Like Mother's Day's coming up. So somebody sent me this last year. I sent this. Look do you remember when moms made our Easter clothes?
Yes, and we had to wear a hat too.
There's my mom and the Easter clothes that she created for both of us. That's when we used to live in Maryland. Yeah. And there's one of those. Now this is one of the ones that truly I will never, ever, ever throw away. So the back of it basically says, David's Sunday school teacher just gave me this. She said she could not think of a better Valentine for her to be able to give me from David. This is my youngest, who now is 20. Yeah. In Sunday school this past Sunday, she asked everyone to get out a piece of paper and draw what they thought love looks like. She didn't give any rules or parameters. She just said it could be anything that they think of. What does love look like? This is what my kid that was in 4th grade at the time, I think, this is what he drew for Valentine's Day, what love looks like.
Oh, you're right. You're never getting rid of that. That's going to the grave with you.
And it was one of those big giant pieces of paper that was going to get crumbled. So she took a picture of it and mailed it to me. And our cards are UV coated. Oh, so there's a UV coating on our cards. Yeah. Which incidentally, now that I said that out loud, it's also interesting to know that if you were to do a printable, and download it as a JPEG and put it on here, it could be a dry erase grocery list.
Ooh, oh, how fun! Because
Yeah.
see, guys, I've got send out cards too, right? Like so if you're getting cards from me, guess how you're getting them now?
Right. It's really kind of cool because I had one of those, all the marketing folks that tell you, like your DMO for the day. You got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, and there's your DMO for the day. Well, rather than printing it off every day and marking it off, because I love me a good list to mark off.
Yeah, me too.
I've been known to put something on a list so I can mark it off.
Yeah, it feels good.
Printed one of those one time for a challenge that I was in and dry erased every day. But I did.
Smart.
And at the end of the day, I could just wipe it off with a tissue and start over the next day. It was so handy.
Yeah, really. I would not have thought of that at all.
Very satisfying. Well, it happened by accident. Well, nothing's by accident, right? Because
never.
Everything happens for a reason. I was trying to mark on something on a card one time, and I thought I picked up a Sharpie. Yeah. And instead I picked up a dry erase marker.
Oh, okay.
And I marked on it, and then I said, see? And I went like this, and it went away, and I went, oh. And then I went, oh.
Wait, what?
Like this whole mess of possibilities went up. So I downloaded a free printable off Etsy. It was really cute, decorated, much more decorated than I could have done. Tic-tac-toe board.
Oh, okay.
And I mailed that card to some missionary kids.
Oh, and there's a game right there, right?
And now they have a game that they can take with them anywhere, and it's the tic-tac-toe board.
Yep, for sure. And there's probably a zillion things you could do that way with a dry erase
card,
my gosh, dry erase marker, and a card. Oh my gosh, the homeschool mom and me would have loved that.
Right?
So many times we used to joke and say it's not really homeschooling, it's car schooling, right?
It is because it's on the go, right?
Oh my gosh, we were going.
There's a lot of pilot wife families, or I should say pilot families, aviation families, who do homeschooling because they can do it from anywhere.
Yeah, so if your husband gets a job, or you can take the transfer and go somewhere exotic and spend a few years there, and not doesn't harm his career, and the kids and your family gets to be together. So.
Absolutely. When I tell people, and for me, it sounds much more bougie than it is when I say, oh, we're going to go to the Christmas markets in England and da-da-da-da. It's just as expensive for me to go do that than it is to go to the beach for a week. Yeah. So for me, it's just really a matter of logistics. Yeah. But it sounds exotic to some people because they're thinking, oh gosh, that's a ticket to Europe. But
we're not able to do that. It's like just on the fly.
Yes, it's very unpredictable. My kids just know that's what's going to happen.
I had a couple questions. So you buy the 10-card challenge.
Right, $20.
Why the cards are so much cheaper? We covered that. Do you have to be, now this has an affiliate, and if you know what that means, you'll totally love it, right?
Right.
If you don't worry about it. It doesn't affect anything, right? Right. But if you want to be an affiliate, April's your girl.
Yep. I have probably 10% of the people that see this and use this. Some of them just use it because it's convenient. That's what I did.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm starting out with.
About 10% of them say, this might be something.
I could maybe do something with this, right? And it makes
I have some nonprofits that are using it as fundraisers.
Oh, good idea. So if you know what an affiliate is, it's a way to make money, like promoting this, and then people buy it and you make a little bit off the back end. So when you're selling Amazon things and, there's a million, wherever you see anything that says #ad, generally an affiliate offer, which means that I'm promoting it for the company, and the company will pay me a little bit, but it doesn't usually never cost you anything extra, right?
Right.
As far as when you're the buyer, like the affiliate may pay a little bit extra, but the buyer never does, right?
Right. The consumer doesn't notice. Yeah.
You'll never see a change in your price, right? So, but then the company usually will take a little bit of money and pay the affiliate because it's worth it for them to get someone like April and to connect with me, and then we can get in front of more people. It's lots easier than the company trying to find all you ladies.
Yeah, because companies spend millions of dollars on advertising, and this
Yes,
is
they do.
just a different avenue
Yeah.
for advertising.
Yeah, it's the they call it the influencer market, or we used to call it referral, right? It was just
Right.
referrals, right? Like
Right.
it's a good old fashioned referral, man. That's all it is, right?
Yep. We're
You know,
about to move and try to get a little closer to my parents because
yeah.
they're aging, and we're sort of in that sandwich generation where my kids are kind of gone, but my parents are needing me now. So
Parents are coming back.
so now I said the word move the other
Yeah.
day on a video.
Out loud.
And wow, I've had a lot of realtors from all over the country because they know I'm moving within Georgia, but they're saying, so I didn't even know this was a thing. If a realtor in another state finds a realtor for me in my new city, they get a referral fee.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Huh.
I didn't even know that.
No, me neither. Me neither. You know, so I know that, like, I knew the realtor that you buy from and the realtor that sells, they share the fee. Like, usually is how they share. Like,
Apparently they get referral fees too.
you know what? Actually, I should have known that because my dad was a realtor, and when we bought this house, no, when we bought the last house, we used him as the buying realtor, and it saved us a significant amount of money, right?
For sure.
Yeah, because he lived in Victoria, and I'm in Ottawa, but he was the market was hot at the time too, so he was he referred me to my realtor who helped me buy the house, right? So he got a bit of a referral, which he just kicked back to me.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I tell you what, the real estate industry is tough.
Yeah, it is. It's a tough. He was good at it because he's very social, and he loved the whole thing about it, right? Nice way. But he absolutely loved being a realtor. It was just right up his alley. It was so fun for him, right?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So we talked about paint. So I'm gonna click the banner again. So if you want to find out more,
so much fun. We have such a good time with this.
There we go. 10cardchallenge.com. This is April. April, meet my friends. My friends meet April.
Hi,
April will take good care of you. I know that. That's why I'm referring her to you, right? Because I know that April will take really good care of you. So you don't have to worry. And this is I think it's worth, the 10 card challenge is $20. Try it out. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? If that's not for you, then $20, you live, you learn, and that's great. But it might just change your world, and you might be sending cards like crazy next year because now it's easy. Now you've got all the addresses, and every time you meet somebody, you're like, so what's your address?
Yeah. Well, and I think too, anybody watching this, anybody within the sound of our voice would probably agree. We are living in a very negatively heavy world.
Heavily, like the social media is putting a lot of pressure.
So statistically, 87% of what we intake is negativity. So if we can just be a little bit of that.
Yeah, let's be the light. Yeah, let's be a little light in the world, right?
Oh, it's just so amazing. And I because of what I do and because I love it, I probably send 150 to 200 birthday cards a month.
Wow.
It's just, I've got a lot of it. A lot of it is automated.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot. Yeah,
I've also been doing this for 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And over the course of time, but look at how many Facebook friends somebody has.
Oh yeah.
If you were really friends with your Facebook friends and had their birthdays and had them in the system, everybody would be sending that many.
Yeah.
But I actually thought to myself, this was several months ago, I was like, you know what? That's a lot. Like, does it really matter? And the very next day, have you ever noticed how those little thoughts run through?
It really worth it.
Next day, my friend Kelly, who has since moved to another city, I used to know her here in my town, she sent me a text and she said, I got your card and it's the only birthday card I got.
Oh, okay. You're like, okay, that's it. I'm sending cards forever now.
Okay. Here's my answer.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't take hardly any time for me to do it. I don't pay for my cards anymore because I have so many referrals.
Yeah. And that can be you if you want to do that.
Gosh, that one day and that one card that made a difference in her world.
Yep. it changed her day probably made
Yeah.
somebody
And
out
if
there.
I had to go to the store, get a card, address the card, stamp the card, and send the card, I wouldn't have done it.
I wouldn't be writing out 200 cards a month. Right? I won't even write out 200 cards.
Oh, heavens no. And any business coach will tell you,
Yeah.
especially real estate coaches, because I have a lot of real estate coach friends in my sphere.
Okay.
And one of the first things they teach when they're training realtors is send one card a day, no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
One card a day.
Yeah.
Well, that's 30 or 31 in a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, the day ends.
Yeah.
And you
And
go,
yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah. And all you need to do now is you're in bed on your phone. Oh, yes.
I know. We'll be sitting there we'll binge watch something like Netflix or whatever. And Chuck and I are sitting there talking at the end of the day. And he looks over and he goes, because most people are on the phones playing a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm on my phone sending cards. He looks at me, he goes, are you sending cards? I'm like, I can't help it.
No.
It doesn't cost me anything. Like, why would I not?
Yes, exactly. If it didn't cost me anything, I'd be sending millions of cards.
I know. It's just such a fun thing. And,
what?
I do tell people, regardless of the income.
Yeah. Yeah.
Regardless. Matter of fact, I was a customer of Send Out Cards for 2 years before I ever shared it with a soul.
Yeah. So there you go.
Because it's convenient.
Yeah. And that's the main thing is it's convenient. You do not have to, maybe you can't get out to the store anymore. Maybe you're a little older,
right.
Maybe there's a worldwide pandemic, things happen.
Listen, I had about, at the end of 2019, January of 2020, had not really shared this with maybe 5 people at the time.
Okay. Yeah.
And I said in January of 2020, I said to my husband, I went, you know what? This is kind of fun. I wonder what would happen if I shared it with some business owners. Because I wasn't even going to share it with friends. I just was going to share it with business owners.
Yeah.
And then March happened.
Oh my God. I think you had every business owner in the world.
Just the 2 months that I had been sharing it with some business owners, some of them didn't quite jump on it real quick.
Yeah.
But it was suddenly like I had the key to the mint.
Yeah.
Because they would call me and they would be real quick. They'd say, are you still doing that little card thing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, because guess what? Everything shut down except the postal service.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here. Right. Everything was like all the stores. You couldn't get a card.
We had, and our card designers really, I have to give kudos to our card designers that send out cards, because we had a card that was, it had the graphic had a pattern like toilet paper.
Oh.
And it said, just in case you run out of toilet paper, keep this card.
So there's some funny ones on there, guys.
We had so much fun with it.
And so, yeah, you can design your own too. So if you want, like I sent April one, our couple, and one of them was, there are people that will spend hours and hours making you this card, right? And then there's people like me. it was very obvious.
Yes.
So
you know what we should do is, yes, Cheryl said, is it $20 one-time fee? Yes, it's $20 one time.
Yeah,
you have 20 days.
Yeah.
20 days to use the cards. So one every other day.
People. Yeah. Or send one person 10 cards.
But if you're willing, we could actually put those graphics in the chat.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So that if someone wanted to, I'll do it later because I've got them.
Yep.
They'll be on Facebook, y'all. They'll be in the Facebook comments.
Yeah.
And one of them is really funny. It is the one that says, those people that do all these cool cards. That's not me. Here's your card.
Yeah, you're not getting one of those cards. But it's true. Like I said, I'm the kind of person that if I start and then, best intentions, right? But it never happens.
I know.
So I'm one of the, and there's a lot like us, right? I'm not the only one out here. I'm like, card making is not my thing. My sister-in-law makes beautiful cards, but she does not make them for 120 people a month. She makes them at Christmas time. It's a big deal, right? It's a lot of work, and I appreciate it. So, so I just thought, well, this is funny because this is true, right? And it's I have all the best of intentions to make you a card, but it's not happening. So you got this.
And we mean to. We want to keep in touch, and we want to, and we all get little prompts in our heads, right? Like our sort of the parent company would send out cards, because we also have a virtual assistant service.
Yeah.
So there's a virtual assistant service that'll do everything for you. And then there's send out cards, and above it is prompting. So it does, if you're at a red light and somebody runs through your mind.
Yeah.
You mean to reach out to them at some point.
Gonna give them a call or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when I get to where I'm going, I'll just whip my phone out really quick, and I can. So if you're on your phone, you can talk your message, but just make sure you spell check it.
Yes, please.
And then you can just hit go.
Yeah.
And many times, even though the card is 5 or 6 days later, the person messages me and says, I got your card today and I was having the worst day.
This is perfect timing. It's like,
So it wasn't 5 days ago when they went through my head.
Yeah. Who could be behind that?
So I know the Lord says do this and I do it. Now somebody sent me this one year.
Yeah. If you're a mom, you're a superhero, period. Yes, ma'am. Totally.
And it just says, you are a superhero. I'm looking forward to our growing friendship. This was a new friend of mine that I met one time. You know, just little things. I mean, sometimes the card that you see in the store is almost right.
I made a card one year and it was for somebody, and it was Mother's Day. It was for somebody that couldn't have kids, right? But she'd been a big influence in my kid's life. And I sent her the card and said, thanks for being part of Team Mom. And I sent it to her on Mother's Day, right? Because I wouldn't have been the mom I was without her.
We all have people who have battled infertility.
The village, right? But I wanted her to realize, like, hey, you were a big part in their upbringing, right? Like it wasn't just me, right? It was Team Mom, my aunts, my sisters,
Oh, that is so sweet.
People that maybe never had kids, but were very much influences in my kid's life. They were part of that whole thing. And she was blown away. But I thought, well, it's true. Like, but there's no card for that. There's no card out there for you didn't have kids, but you were great with mine.
Yeah. And thanks for the help, because apparently it takes a village.
Yeah, it does. So you can make a card for things like that, where you could be like, you know what? There isn't a card for this kind of thing, but I can make a card for this kind of thing because this is how I'm feeling, right? So
and inside jokes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Inside jokes are just the best.
Yeah, especially when you're young and you're like, we were 15 together and you've got a million of them, right? You just say one thing across the card and send it.
I'm so glad to know that we will always have each other's backs. And if we don't, we can kill each other.
Yeah. Or, I won't tell your stuff and you won't tell mine because we both know what our bodies are. Because we've been together long enough to know, right?
I know. Well, somebody sent me this one, Veterans Day. This is the back of the card.
Okay.
And Veterans Day, and she was just basically saying, now I had posted my veterans that are part of my family.
Oh, okay. Like on Facebook or something?
Yeah. This is my husband way back when.
Oh, so she grabbed the pictures off Facebook?
She grabbed them off Facebook, and then there's my daddy and my husband.
Oh my gosh.
And so you can see this didn't take a lot of creativity.
No.
And it didn't take a lot of time. And she just was able to just whip it out really quick. And who knows how many she blessed with Veterans Day cards, because we all post the pictures of our veterans.
Right. And here's the thing. You only post those people that you really love, right? You're not going to post people you don't care about. So the pictures are
pictures back then are not even that good a quality.
Doesn't matter though, because you love the people that are in them, right?
Yeah.
So you don't care how good a quality they are. So
for sure. Oh, it's so fun. I hope everybody has a good time with it.
Yes. So like we said, we want you to go to the 10cardchallenge.com. Think of 10 people you want to send cards to that God's putting on your mind right now. Wherever you are, like she said, within the sound of our voice, you might be seeing this live. You might be seeing this later on in the replay. I might be sending it an email. April's going to have the video too for her things.
Yep.
Wherever you are, when you get that little voice in your head, just send them the card, right? Just spend the $20, try it out, send a bunch of cards and see what happens. That's all. Right?
Yeah. And for $2 a card out the door.
With postage.
My goodness.
Yeah. And you don't even have to walk to the mailbox.
Right there,
Yeah, you don't have to walk to the mailbox. In my case, I don't have the stamps. So I have to walk to the store to get the stamps or drive to the store. Probably going to walk. It's close enough. It's about a mile, right? Walk to the store and get the stamp, the envelope, walk to another store and get the card. The card and the envelope probably come together.
Yep.
So 2 different trips. That's a drive because that was not close. And then bring it all home, put it all together, like you say, and then walk it to the mailbox and send it. I mean, that's not that hard. That's pretty close.
Yep.
But still, it's good for the health, the exercise.
Right.
But lots of times it's just like, you know what? Let's just, like you said, they just passed through my mind. I haven't thought about them in months, right?
Yeah, right.
And I just thought, I'm just going to send my thinking of you, or you passed through my thoughts today.
Sure.
Or it doesn't even
And
have to be
catching. You'll notice that once you do 2 or 3,
yeah,
people are going to really start popping into your head, or even look at your last 10 text messages,
yeah.
Inside of my mail, it's called Mail Some Joy group. I'll link
There's
it.
actually somebody here from it. I think it says Mail Some Joy. Oh, that's you, April. That's you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know I was logged in as my other self.
It's okay. It's okay.
And inside of the Mail Some Joy group,
yeah, Facebook
I
group.
will put hashtag daily card prompt. Send a card today to your pastor.
Yeah.
Send a card today to your kid's teacher. Send a card. Now, some of those kids' teachers, let me tell you, when my kids were still in school, I had just started doing this when my kids were, I think, in early high school.
Okay.
And I had loaded all the teachers into my system. And right about now, because everybody that's a teacher is like,
just waiting for the year to end.
You're almost in the home stretch, people.
We can
don't kill any more kids until And so I sent them all this. There's a meme, and it's a kid in a green shirt, and he's going like this, and it says, "Almost made it." And so on the inside, I've got, "You're amazing. Don't forget that. I know it's been a long year, blah, 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 whatever." And I sent each one of them brownies.
Oh my gosh.
So for me, 13 teachers, which is how much my kids had that year, it was less than $200 to bless 13 teachers. And it took me less than 5 minutes.
And you know how many gifts and stuff they get at the end of the year, like coffee mugs?
Mugs and candles. Yes.
Yeah. No. So Cheryl wants to know, she said she's confused. It's a one-time fee for a limited time, or does it expire at a certain time? So
the 10 card challenge will always be there, unless the company decides to do a different kind of thing. But it is a standard. It's not a promo.
Yeah.
It is 10 cards for $20. You have 20 days to use them.
Yeah. And
as far as I know, that will always be offered.
Okay. So that's a basic,
it's like a starter. Yeah, it's like a trial.
A starter pack, but so the limit is 20 days. Yep. So you want to know 10 people you want to send cards to, or one person you want to send 10 cards to, like every 2 days. Every 2 days. Who knows, right? I mean, it could be anything, right? Why not?
Yeah, you totally could. Yeah. The 10 card challenge is 1 card, check out.
Yeah.
Send it. 1 card, check out, send it. So it's 10 one-off cards. And yes, you could send it 10 cards to the same person if you wanted to.
So it's not the same front, or it can all be different fronts, and each card can be individual, and you
it's
can have
10 checkout sessions basically. Yeah. You can't, and you are allowed to add a gift to the 10 card challenge. You just pay for the gift and shipping.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I think we covered it all. I can't think of any more questions. I said to April when we decided to do this, I was like, I'm going to be the person asking all the questions. I'm going to be the audience for you.
Yeah, totally. Well, and we've got some really good questions in the chat too, and there will be too. We've had 20 or 30 people on watching too while we've been doing this. So so much fun. It's always good to be kind and just spread kindness anywhere you are. A friend of mine was just, unfortunately, she was in the hospital for 3 months with her young 12-year-old daughter. She has not just Down syndrome, but 23 other diagnoses. And in the hospital is one of those places where you feel just like cut off from the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
In situations like that, it's so nice to be able to still just reach out in kindness, send a card from your phone. To thank people that have been doing all these things. And when my mom broke her right shoulder last year, she used to handwrite cards. She got beautiful handwriting. Yeah. And from her iPad, I taught her how to use the app on her iPad. And so she was still able to send a bunch of thank you cards. Yes. So Christmas cards would not allow because of the 20 days. Oh, I see what you're saying. You would want to do the 10 card challenge maybe right after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then just do 10 cards then.
Cards. Yeah.
And then if you wanted to do what would be coming up that you would do 10 cards for birthdays
Well, you can do Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Yes,
Although Father's Day is in June, so that wouldn't work. But graduation.
Oh, Cheryl wants to know, do they get notified when you send them the cards?
They do not, because it's not electronic. It is exactly the same process as if I wrote this card out, put it in an envelope, went and dropped it in my mailbox, the person would not get notified. So it's a first class card.
Yeah. Comes in the mail.
Comes in the mail. Now, if you do add a gift, you do get tracking.
Yes. But they did not notify me. They just showed up on my doorstep.
Right.
And
you can tell the person.
You could, yeah. But so it's just like what if you sent them a card, except that you're not actually going to the mailbox and popping it in. The Print on Demand place is doing that for you, right?
Yep, exactly. Yes.
These are great questions, Cheryl. They're very helpful. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you can tell the person, hey, be on the lookout, because and they're easy to spot. Steel colored envelopes are easy to spot. Just say, hey, look for a blue envelope. I'm sending you something fun in the mail.
Yes. So Diane asked, do you have to have the addresses? Yes, Diane, you do.
You do, but and here's a question I get a lot. How do you get people's addresses without being creepy?
Well, if they're your friends, you probably have. So I have an old address.
If they're your friends, you probably have it. But if someone is an online friend, like Kim is my online friend, we've never actually met in public yet. But I say, one of these days I'm going to fly up there.
Yeah.
I messaged her and said, hey, I've got something fun I want to send you in the mail. What's a good mailing address for you?
Now, who would say no to that? Nobody.
So far, 4,000 and counting, nobody has said no.
Yeah, and I got brownies.
Yeah.
Where are they? Oh, there they are. I'm going to have one.
Diane says exactly. Yeah. So that's a fun little, just, hey, I would love to recognize you on your birthday, or there's all kind of ways to say it.
Yeah.
And you do need to say the words mailing address, because if you say to someone, hey, I want to send you something fun, what's your address?
Yeah.
100% of the time, they're going to respond with their email.
Yeah.
Not helpful.
Well, because you know what? Nobody's expecting anything to come in the mail anymore.
I know.
So you're like going to stand out from the crowd because you're not emailing it to them. You're like, no. Remember, snail mail address. You have one, right?
Yep. It's a great way to stand out, especially if you're in business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's not like these big giant flyers.
Yeah.
That, especially, of course, in the U.S., we're headed into election season.
Oh, yes. Right. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Now.
Crazy.
So all these big giant flyers, and you get to your mailbox, you're coming in, you got your mail, and you're sorting. As you go to the house, you're sorting.
Tossing.
And the junk mail goes here and the cards come inside.
Yes, they do. Yeah. Anything with a colored envelope comes inside.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, wait, what? That's actually something fun?
It does. It comes in your mailbox like it is regular mail. Yes.
Yeah.
Is Cheryl in Canada or is she in the U.S.?
I do not know. So either way, it doesn't matter because
for me, I've experienced if I mail a card to the UK, it does take about 9 or 10 days.
I think that's true anyway.
In the U.S., it's 5 to 7 business days.
Yeah.
Give or take. I mean, of course, sometimes even my mom mailed me something when it was a piece of paper, like she had printed something off, bless her heart. She didn't know how to scan. So she mailed me something and it took forever. And it wasn't even a card. So sometimes the U.S. Postal Service.
When I first started my business here, I used to ship stuff to the States. And it was fine for a while, right? And it was and then the pandemic hit. And what was normally about 7 to 10 days turned into 4, 6, 7 weeks because they were just so swamped with mail, real mail again, right?
I will say this though, if your send out card does not get to its destination in a reasonable amount of time, 10 business days is a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
If you call the company and you can see your production ID number in your card history, and say this card never arrived, they'll send it for you.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Now, the other thing is, because we've been talking a lot about sending for businesses, So we're not going to get deep into this, but let's just say the 10 card challenge might be your way to start. But if you're in a business and you want to decide, oh, I love this, I'm going to send it to my 400 clients every year. They
Sure.
have other price points and things like that for people.
Oh,
like
yeah. We can get down to as inexpensive as $1 a card.
Yeah.
And some of the packages include 30% discount in the gift store.
Yeah. So there's lots of other options, but we just, like April said, we don't want to get too far into the weeds. But if you're a business and you're like, oh, wait, I could send my people a physical thing. Like, and I don't actually have to put my hands on it. I just have to type in a few things and send it out. So there's definitely something there for you as well. So the 10 card challenge is a way to sort of
our virtual assistant service will do that for you. So we do have a package where you get 150 cards, 150 stamps anywhere currently, and then 2 hours of a virtual assistant, and they'll do all of it for you.
Yeah, so there's lots.
Oh, Cheryl's in Wisconsin, she says.
Yeah. Okay, so don't think you just have to send 10 cards and then another 10 cards and then another 10 cards. If you've got a list of, like, a realtor, like a list of 7,000 people you want to make an impact on.
For sure. Yeah, the 10 card challenge currently, and I always say currently because I don't know if somebody says this 5 years from now and stamps are $5, then it's going to be different. But currently, as of, April the 9th, 2024, the 10 card challenge is 10 cards, $20 in 20 days.
Yeah. So perfect.
And they're sent individually. So I think the intent is to get people in the habit of sending out kindness.
Yeah. And just kind of get them to try it out and realize, oh, wow, this is way easier than you would think. Right.
It is. Yeah.
We kind of think,
switch servers. So our server now is lightning fast. It's
that's awesome. That's great. Yeah. So that makes it even easier. Right.
We've come a long way. It's a 20-year-old company too. I think that's important to know that this is not something that just started. Send Out Cards has been going on for 20 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. I did not know that.
Back in the day when you faxed in your order.
Oh my God.
They would print it and then mail it for you.
We have come a long way. We have come a long way since then. Fax machines, Gestetners.
Dial-up internet, man.
Okay, well, I think we have pretty much covered everything. We've been on this for an hour. Wow.
Oh my goodness, that went by so fast.
Yeah, it did. It did. I thought we'd be at least a half an hour. But it's easy enough just to talk about. There's just so much goodness here, I think, right? So
much fun.
Like I say, if you're interested, guys, try the 10 card challenge. That if you want to be part of April's world, that's her way in to send out cards, which means that you'll be connected to her immediately. She'll be your affiliate. She'll get you into her group, Mail Some Joy, and it's all for April, right?
And I do not, you won't get those messages from me. Goes, you haven't sent your cards yet. What's the problem? That's on you. I assume everybody's grown up.
As far as I can tell, they probably are. If they're old enough to buy the cards.
I will make sure, though, that you know what you have and know how to use it.
And like you say, you'll do helpful things like, well, maybe send your pastor a card today, right? Like in the group where you get ideas and you're going to get like creative ideas and things like that. Like you could send it to the pastor and make his week, or you could send it to the pastor's wife who nobody ever remembers, right?
Sure, right.
Just, tell her that she's awesome too.
Yeah. You know what I just thought of? I'm going to put it in the chat right now. I have a sort of like a brainstorming list, 10 card challenge, and it's a planner pack. Oh, okay. Did not even think about that. Plannerpack.co. There it is. Yep. And it's just a free download. There we go. Perfect. So I hope it links. Yeah, it should. If it doesn't, I will be adding it. So yeah. Okay. All right, April. Well, I think thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I'm really glad that I got a chance to do this. And like I said, I do want to talk to you about coming and hanging out with my group and talking about affiliate opportunities, because that might be something. It did not link. Diane said, "Okay, Diane, that's okay. If you just copy that and paste it into your browser, 10card.plannerpack.co, it should take you. Don't put HTTPS. Just put that, like, copy and paste it into your browser. It should work." Okay, I have it here. Let me just try to copy paste. I'm not sure if we can link in the. We're on StreamYard right now. Oh, now it did. Did it work? I took it from a browser this time. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'll take the other one off. There we go. 10 cards planner pack.
Oh, look at April.
That's my headshot.
Diane said that worked. Thanks, Diane. I appreciate that.
Awesome.
All right, so this is like a brainstorming list, this 10cardchallenge.plannerpack.co. This
Yep,
is actually
and it has my links inside that PDF too. So it's a nice little download. It sort of gives you 10 prompts and says, here's an idea to send to 10 people. And there are different links in there to help you get connected.
Perfect. Okay, that is exactly what we need.
I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier. Duh.
Oh, you know what? Because we can't think of everything. We do it on the fly.
Chick-fil-A sauce.
All right, everybody, we're going to head on out. I'm going to end the stream. April, if you want to stay on for a minute, we can chat. Thank you so much for showing up, you guys. And like I said, if you're within the sound of our voice, no matter if it's a replay or or you're watching the live now, or you're watching it 6 months from now, or whatever, give it a try. It's going to make somebody else's day, and there's not enough of that in the world these days, right?
Amen.
So, no, let's be the light a little bit, and if you've got the money to spend $20 to make 10 people's day, you can have an awful lot of fun making their cards.
Right. Well, they say if you do the 10 card challenge, you'll make 11 people happy.
That's very good. And then just the creative side of us of just creating the front of the card and all that kind of stuff.
Right, because you've got a whole bunch of Canva stuff too that you've done. You can make something in Canva. If it's 5x7 in Canva, you can drop it on a card real easy.
That's exactly how I got, April, the ones that you got from me. It's
yes. Oh, we're gonna put those we're gonna put those in the comments.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Take care of yourselves. We love you. Have a great day.
Bye. It was nice to meet y'all.